belly. Starting off with just some nice breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And starting to bring awareness into where we're breathing from, if that's coming from our bellies or coming from our chest. And then from here on the next exhale, starting to exhale forcefully through the mouth, pulling the rib cage down, tucking the rib cage kind of towards your spine, and feeling this connection between your ribs and your hips. As you inhale, just relax that feeling. Starting to connect our breath with movement, keeping relaxation through the head, neck, and shoulders. On this next one, hold that connection. So kind of hold that slight activation. You should feel that happening underneath your hands. Hold that and continue your normal breathing. Being able to still expand your rib cage while maintaining that connection. On this next one, we're going to hold that connection, but just bringing our hands down by our sides. On this next exhale, hold that connection and start to just lift your tailbone up an inch, pulling your belly button in further, engaging those low abs, and then tailbone comes down an inch. Exhale, curl. And inhale, release. On this next one, starting to just lift the hips up about halfway. So as you start to lift, pressing your low back down into the mat, coming right up until kind of right under your shoulder blades, and then slowly start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone is the last thing to touch, engaging those lower abs as you touch down. Again, exhale, lift halfway. Seeing how you can involve those low abs. And on this last one, starting to just roll all the way up. No pressure or tension in the neck. From here, look from right to left. Head back to the center. Good. Hold lifted here. Notice now that it's more your glutes driving you up. Harder to engage the core at this top position. And then from here, we're just going to lift those heels up, tapping the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels come down, toes are going to tap. For 3, 2, 1, toes down. From here, we're going to lift the toes up again, this time butterflying the knees. So swiveling on those heels, knees are going to come wide. Inhale, exhale, squeeze together, touching the knees if you can. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Activating first the outer hips and then the inner thighs as you squeeze. Last one. Good. Back to the center, toes come down, hips lower down. And let's take a little hug into the chest. Awesome. From here, start to lengthen out long, arms overhead, legs reaching long. And we're going to prepare for a full body roll up here. If you want to first, maybe taking some circles through the ankles, both clockwise and counterclockwise. Just stretching your body as long as it can go. And then from here, start to connect your rib cage down, engaging the core. Arms, head, neck, and shoulders, full body roll up. All the way to sitting. Belly button comes in, shoulders relax down as you fold forward. If you can reach your feet, maybe giving your feet a little squeeze, little self-massage. And then keep your back round, pull your belly button in, relax your shoulders down, almost like someone's punching you in the center. Start to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. And head relaxes down. Again, inhaling through the nose, exhale, connect ribs down, arms, head, neck, and shoulders. Full body roll up, not using any momentum. If you get stuck, you can help yourself, but otherwise, no pulling through with the arms and the head. This time as you fold forward, flexing your feet. As you reach towards your feet, maybe give them a little squeeze. Both at the tops, your toes, the inside of your foot. Good. And then start to slowly roll down, rounding your spine, pulling belly button in, shoulders down, away from your ears. Nice and slow, controlled. On this next one, feet are going to come straight up towards the ceiling. A little lift maybe so that you can get your low back relatively flat. We're going to start to do little booty lifts, so pretending like there's a string attached from your toes straight up towards the ceiling. Little lift here. Again, trying not to use momentum. Trying to avoid just swinging your legs in towards your face. Just little lifts. My arms are above my head. If you need to, have them at your sides. But if you want to make it harder, just have your arms up overhead. On this next one, we're going to start to roll up and over into this kind of plow position. Hold here. Take a few deep breaths. From here, start to wiggle your hips side to side, maybe massaging your rib cage. Either hips wiggling side to side or just rocking your weight side to side. Being aware if you start to feel like maybe your rib cage is a little bit more like prominent on one side or tender on one side. You're using your core here to help resist you. And then from here, find yourself back into that midline and slowly lower the hips down as slow as you can, relaxing your head, relaxing your neck. Legs stopping right up at the ceiling. Perfect. We're going to try that again. Slowly rolling up and over. You're trying not to hold your hips in your hands, and you're really not having your weight in your neck. So again, you should be able to look right to left. Most of your weight is just right kind of on your shoulder blades or below, engaging your core to help you stay up here. And start to just shift yourself side to side. Notice if something feels nice or not nice. And then back to the center, slowly roll down, resisting gravity as slow as you can go. Perfect. Hug your knees into your chest. From here, we're going to start to rock ourselves up, so lifting the head and little rocks. Eventually finding yourself in boat pose. Hold here. From here, see if you can just hover your arms. Relax your shoulders, find stillness. Awesome. From here, little pulses in towards the center, little breaths of air. For 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Hands are going to connect to the outsides of your ankles and knees are going to widen up. Your feet can lower down a little bit. I forget what this one's called, but it's fun. You're going to Slowly extend one leg straight. And bend it back in. Toes can tap. Other leg extends as straight as it can go. Balancing, holding here. And back in. One more on each side. Good. From here, connect the feet, lower them down into butterfly, nose to toes. Taking your left hand up towards the ceiling, looking up towards that side. A little twist. Maybe feeling a nice stretch through the low back right here. Side of the body. And switching sides. Right hand up towards the ceiling, looking towards that side. And back down towards the center. From here, we're going to come right into our ab series. So knees kind of coming together. Starting off, hugging one knee into our chest, shooting the other leg out long. Head, neck, and shoulders are lifted, shoulders down. We're inhaling for 2, and exhale for 2. Inhale for 2, and exhale. Neck is nice and long, chin away from the chest. See if you can lift your chest up 1 inch higher. Breathing in and breathing out. On this last one, preparing for a hollow body hold. Inhale, reaching arms and legs long. Inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, pull it in, 2, 3. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. On this last one, we're going to hold open for our little banana boat. Rocking here in our hollow body. Good, last one. Straight leg stretch, hugging one leg in, grabbing up as tall as you can, and exhale, switch. Getting a nice hamstring stretch at the top. Inhale for 2, and exhale for 2. Perfect. Hands coming behind the head, elbows wide, heels together, toes apart. Slowly lower just a few inches, squeezing the backs of your inner thighs together. Good, one more like that. On this next one, crisscrossing at the upper thighs. And holding here, feet up towards the ceiling, about hip distance apart, elbows wide. Exhale, reach towards your opposite outside ankle, and switch. Focusing more on that rotation and that lift. Legs are staying frozen up towards the ceiling. Almost there. Finishing strong. On this last one, bicycle. Exhale, rotate. Instead of thinking elbow to knee, think more about armpit to knee. Good, the last one on each side. And relax down. Hug your knees into your chest. Take a few deep breaths. Perfect. On this next one, let's go ahead and roll to your side. Doesn't matter which side, we will do both. Stacking hips one on top of the other, top hip not rolling forward, not rolling back. Head can be supported by your hand or by your arm, whatever is more comfortable. Top hand somewhere other than your mat. That means top hip or behind the head. Looks pretty cool too. We're going to lift the top leg up at the level of the hip. From here, we're going to start off with a 90-degree press. So inhale, knee comes right out in front of the hip. Exhale, press back down. Inhale in front. Exhale, press. Good. As your knee comes forward, making sure that your hip socket stays kind of back. It's easy to let that top hip kind of roll forward as you do that. And you want to keep that leg still at the height of the hip the whole time. On this next one, we're going to just change into external rotation. So toe points up, heel points down. Same thing, bend into 90. Exhale, push straight. We are maintaining our hips in a stacked position. So as we bend in, we're not letting it open and roll up. Good. Inhale in, exhale, press. Last two. On this last one, lengthen out long. We're going to rotate now, toe down, heel pointed up for a motorcycle press. So what that means is knee kind of comes down to point towards the mat, and then leading with the heel, you're kicking out into a diagonal, toe still pointing down. Inhale in, tap. Exhale, press back and up in that internally rotated position. So try the whole time to really keep toe down, heel up, engaging the core to not let yourself roll forward. On this next one, extend straight again, lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good. On this last one, hold lifted. We're just going to start to rotate within the hip socket. So toe up, heel down to toe down, heel up. Perfect. And last one here. Good. Crossing the top leg in front, you can either have foot flat or knee down. I kind of like this position to keep my hips a little bit more squared. Now taking our focus to the bottom leg. Exhale, lift it up as high as you can. Squeeze and lower down. Exhale, lift, squeeze, hold, and lower. On this last one, hold lifted. We're going to just slide that foot back a few inches and then take it forward a few inches, staying at the same level. Back, squeezing the glutes, forward. Awesome. On this last one, hold at the center. See if you can lift up one more inch. Squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down with the bottom leg. Top leg is going to come back up and over. From here, we're going to end off with just a little développé. Knee, ceiling, and down. Toe points in, up, and down. Last few. This leg is kind of coming more towards the diagonal, so it's not straight up towards the ceiling. And reverse directions. Up, bend, and straight. Last one. Awesome. Let's do a nice 180, swiveling around to the other side, setting it up the same way. Hips stacked, core pulled in. Good. From here, top hand somewhere other than the ground, so either hip or behind the head. Top leg's going to lift up at the height of the hip. Starting off parallel press. 90 degrees. Exhale, press straight and long. As you push to straight, I want you to pretend like you're reaching towards that opposite wall so long that maybe your bottom ribs start to float up a little bit, creating a nice little gap up underneath here. Inhaling forward. Exhale, press. Making sure that ankle stays directly underneath the knee, not towards your butt. On this next one, reach the leg long. Rotate toes pointing up, heel pointing down. Exhale, bend into 90 and press long and straight. Inhale, up. All trying to do this without letting that top hip open up. Keep the hips stacked. Pretend like you're doing this against a wall. Last one. Good. From here, rotate toe down, heel up, motorcycle press. So knee kind of coming down towards the floor. Exhale, press and lengthen into that diagonal, leading with the heel. Feeling this a lot. Good. Last one. Perfect. Bring it back to the center. We're going to just lift and lower. Last two. And this last one, hold lengthened, toe points up, heel down, rotating within the hip socket. Just a nice longitudinal axis, rotating around that straight line. Good. Focusing on the rotation of the hip, what muscles are working. Perfect. Last one. Cross that top leg in front and forward, foot flat. You can grab hold of that ankle. Exhale, bottom leg lifts up as high as you can. Hold and lower. Exhale, lift, squeeze, hold, and lower. Two more like that. On this last one, hold lifted, squeezing up as high as you can. Start to slide that straight leg just back a few inches and then forward a few inches. It's kind of like sliding along a horizontal line. Knee stays straight, not lowering down as you slide. Good. On this last one, find that middle point again. Hold lifted, squeeze up 1 inch higher. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the bottom leg. Relax the top leg back up and over. Ending with our devil pay. So toe to bottom knee. Extend up and flex it down. Bend in, open. On this next one, reverse directions, up to the top, bend in and extend. Awesome, last one. And relax down. Option to roll over onto your back for figure 4, or I'm gonna do kind of a seated figure 4. Crossing ankle over knee, letting it come out, and then I'm really trying to flatten out my back here. You can even go from like round to flat, almost like a little tuck. If you want to bring some rocking into it as well, I would definitely encourage that, either on your back or sitting up, taking it side to side. On this next one, switching sides, crossing opposite ankle over, and loosening up, whatever way feels best for you. Good. And relax down. We are going to go into a boomerang here. So it's a lot of steps, but not too tricky when you break it down. We're going to start off in a seated position. Feet are going to be out in front of you. Perfect. So we're going to start with crisscrossed at our ankles. So from here, we're going to start to roll back. Feet are going to come with us. Feet are going to come up and over. And then we're going to uncross and recross our ankles. And then slowly roll down. Chest is going to lift at the same time, holding here, hands coming behind the head, lowering the legs, lowering the chest, arms coming up and over, and a relaxed fold forward. So again, ankles are crossed to start. We're rolling back, up and over, uncross, recross, slow, lower, chest is coming with you, hold here, hands behind, extend, lower the legs, lower the chest, fold forward, and release. Let's go for just 2 more. Up and over, uncross, recross, holding at the top, relax your shoulders, hands behind the back, open, fold, last one. Good. And fold forward. Perfect. Let's flip over onto our stomachs. Reaching arms and legs long, away from the center of your body. From here, engage the core, pulling the belly button up and off of the floor. Starting to reach opposite arm, opposite leg super long away from the center of the body. So long that it lifts up. Just hover, hold, 2, 3, and lower. Alternating sides. Reach so long that you're hovering, focusing less of the upward motion and more about the lengthening motion. On this next one, starting to speed it up a little bit. Your head is coming with you. It's staying nice and neutral. Good. From here, lifting both arms and legs into our swimmies. Breathing here, shoulders down away from your ears. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Let's take our arms into this goalpost position, and you can turn your cheek to one side. That same side that you're looking, that leg's gonna bend, and we're just gonna scorpion it over, whatever this is called. Opening up through the chest. And taking it back down. Flip your cheek to the other side. Bend that knee and take it up and over. And back to the center. Hands are going to slide underneath your chest, and we'll press down into child's pose. Reaching your arms long, forehead down. Taking a few deep breaths. Palms are going to flip towards the center with thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Widen your hands about the width of your mat. And then slide your shoulders down away from your ears, creating a nice long neck. From here, we're just going to focus on that low trap muscle. So keeping your shoulders away from your ears. If you can, start to hover just one arm off of the mat. Hold, 2, 3, and lower. Switching sides, so if you can't do this without feeling it in your neck, you might need to put your head up on something, a yoga block, a towel, and that can help. Otherwise, we're really just trying to lift up as high as we can while keeping our shoulders down away from our ears. Your elbows can be bent a little bit. Trying to send this work into the middle of our back. Good, last one on each side. Perfect. From here, we're going to prepare for a elbow plank here. So, forearms parallel, preferably not hands clasped, preferably maybe palms facing up. When you're ready, taking one leg straight, just for a nice hold. Bringing our focus to what our head is doing, if it's neutral or if it's drooping down or sticking up. I want you to really press the back of your neck towards the ceiling. Breathing here. Making sure your upper back is nice and broad, not shoulders sinking down. So really lift your chest away from the ground. From here, we're going to start in a saw. So pointing and flexing the feet, sending that straight line just forward and back. Perfect. Last 3, 2, and 1. Take a little break here. Knees can come down. You can go back into child's pose if you want. Awesome. On this next one, we're going to set up for a side elbow plank. So, propping up onto your forearm with elbow directly underneath your shoulder pressed down away from your ear. Option to keep knees bent. Option to stack the feet to have the top foot in front. Whatever feels best. When you're ready, we're going to lift up and just hold. Nice long line. Head is neutral as well. From here, we're going to slide top hand down the body towards the feet. Inhale up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide. And lift. Last one. And lift. Pause here with hand up towards the ceiling. We're just going to tap the ground, eyes following your hand for 3, 2, and 1. Hand back to the ceiling. Back to your forearm plank if you can. Hold here. Awesome. Lifting one foot up, hold, and switch. Switch again, this time lift the foot and start to slide it sideways out to the side, back in and down. Other foot up, slide out, in and down. Rotating over to the other forearm plank, side plank. Either feet stacked, one foot in front, on your knees. Top hand lifted up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide hand down towards your feet. Inhale, open. Exhale, slide down. Inhale, lift. Last one. Good. Pause with hand towards the ceiling, tapping the floor, looking down, looking up, challenging our balance here as well. Last 2. And 1. Back to forearm plank. Hold here and breathe, shoulders down. We'll end with a few hip dips here. So just the pelvis twisting to one side and then the other. Last one on each side. And relax down. Awesome. From here, we're going to take our right leg out in front, coming into a lunge and a flat back straight leg. Switching between these two positions. On the next time that you press your hips forward, maybe adding a little side bend to the right side. Center and up, fold. Forward, side bend, center, and fold flat back. On this next one, bending your front knee, taking your hands to the inside of your foot, walking your foot to the outside, either staying here or coming down onto your elbows. Taking a few deep breaths here. Popping up onto your hands again. Taking that back knee and just sliding it through, sitting down and twisting to your right. Twist all the way back behind you until you're looking over your right shoulder. Sitting up as tall as you can. Exhale, maybe twist a little bit further. Perfect. Slowly start to unwind until we end up in this half middle split. Bottom foot can either be down flat or heel up. Top leg can either be toe up or toe down. Option to come towards your straight leg if you need a deeper stretch. From here, switch sides, taking that straight leg maybe a few inches forward. And starting to shift your weight onto your bent knee side. We should now have opposite foot in front, which should be the left. And then pressing hips forward, hips back. Whoa. From this lunge to a forward fold, hamstring stretch. On this next one, as you shift your weight forward, adding a slight side bend to the left, up and back, fold. Forward, press, side bend, up and back. On this next one, press the hips forward, hands coming towards the inside. Scoot your foot out to the side if you want to, either staying here or coming down onto your elbows. Few deep breaths, opening up those hips. From here, start to walk yourself up, tucking the back knee under and rotating to the left, sitting down on both sits bones. Keep rotating and twisting, sitting up tall until you're looking over your left shoulder. Exhale, twist a little bit more. And slowly start to unwind. Back into your half middle split. Whatever feels good here. Switching to the other side. Awesome. We're going to shift to that bent knee side again for a little squat here. Trying to just press your heels down to the mat, working on the motion of our ankles, stretching out the Achilles, and slowly taking a seat. Walking your hands back behind you, either fingertips or scooting your hips forward for a little shoulder stretch, just until you feel a nice gentle stretch. Option to kind of shift your weight side to side. From here, walk your hands back up, flip your fingertips so that they're facing towards you, and then just a little bend in the elbow. Good. Sitting up, crisscross towards the front. Either hand down or elbow down, reaching up and over, anchoring your bottom opposite hip down. Taking a few deep breaths. And then folding forward, hands coming, sliding in front to the other side, up and over, anchoring your opposite hip. And back up to the top. Clasp your hands together, opening up your upper back, looking toward your belly button, but reaching your hands forward, rounding your back as much as you can, and start to take it to one side and to the other side. Seeing what feels best, what feels more restricted. Releasing the hands, reaching back behind you, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, expanding the chest. Sitting up tall, rolling the shoulders back for 2, and forward for 2. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders to your ears, squeeze your hands, your toes, your eyes, every muscle that you possibly can. And exhale, shake it out, release it down. One more like that, squeezing everything up and in, all that tension and all that tightness, release it out, shake it down. Awesome job.